Hello everyone, I'm Claire Stewart. Thanks for joining us tonight. The 7-day alcohol vote passed overwhelmingly in Tuscaloosa last week, but it left some people wondering about the regulations. WVUA's Matt McCoy spoke with several Tuscaloosa City Council members who will regulate the referendum.
The substitute on pages 41 and 42 will amend section 3-47 of the Code of Tuscaloosa.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And just like that, the 7-day alcohol sales referendum, along with its regulations, passed Tuesday night's Tuscaloosa City Council meeting. But what exactly are those regulations?
There was some discussion about whether primarily to not allow bars to open on Sunday, but at the end of the day, we decided to leave the ordinance as it was passed.
There's one stipulation in that if the bars get out of hand, if something gets out of hand, then the council can come back and modify that law.
That ordinance, as passed, will allow restaurants, grocery stores, convenience stores, and even bars to sell alcohol between the hours of noon and 9:30.
On one hand, you may not even have the bars interested in opening, whereas on the other hand, if they decide to, or on a game day, they are free to do so.
And according to the regulation approved by the City Council, 9:30 is the stop serving time and the stop consumption time.
If the restaurant stays open until 10 o'clock, they can certainly serve fruit or iced tea or whatever they want, but the alcohol itself has to be cleared from the table at 9:30.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Matt McCoy, WVUA News.
The new regulation allows package stores to open on Sundays, but several council members say ABC stores will not open on Sundays due to company restrictions. One local business that was denied a liquor license 2 weeks ago is taking action. According to Tuscaloosa City Attorney Tim Nunnally, the owner of Hawks Place Sports Bar and Grill has filed a lawsuit in circuit court. According to Nunnally, if Robert Smith, who owns the sports bar, is successful in the lawsuit, he will be permitted a liquor license. The Tuscaloosa City Council denied Smith's liquor license because of complaints from a nearby neighborhood. Alabama Governor Robert Bentley has presented his first State of the State address in Montgomery. The Tuscaloosa native's speech focused on the recent proration of the Education Trust Fund. Because of the newly enacted cuts, Bentley says some state employees will soon have to pay more for health insurance and retirement. Also on the chopping block, funding for several historical and tourist attractions in Alabama. More than 200 line items from the general fund budget were cut for 2011. Bentley says the state's reliance on federal funding must stop.
Here in Alabama, we have inherited a budget this year that at best is unrealistic. Both our Education Trust Fund and our state's general fund budgets are based on unreliable revenue projections. Now, 5 months into the 2011 fiscal year, what we feared is true. We do not have enough money to sustain either budget.
Bentley says he will continue to support several state agencies, including the Auditor's Office, the Alabama National Guard, and the State Ethics Board. With Governor Bentley announcing 3% proration, teachers will have to do more with less. WVUA's Bethany Andrews shows us how the recent budget cuts will affect local classrooms.
They can't send you money they don't have. It's not reasonable.
Alabama's education budget relies on revenue from sales tax. Chief Financial Officer for Tuscaloosa City Schools, Ed Levine, says when there's less tax revenue, there's less money for education.
We have not bought computers. We've cut back on instructional supplies. In the winter, we've turned the thermostat down, and in the summer, we've turned the thermostat up. We've done everything we can to save money as the years have gone on.
And some teachers say those budget decisions made in the Capitol can have a nightmarish reality in the classroom.
Here we say again, more prorations to come. That's put us back behind even more with lack of resources.
Northridge teacher Kenneth Webb sees firsthand the challenges those budget cuts create.
Trying to have a class with limited paper, expo markers, pencils, paper, just all the things you need for your classroom to operate.
And Webb is not alone. Northridge history teacher Nancy Reed is also worried about what's to come.
Worry, about jobs, especially those of us who are non-tenured.
And with less money coming from the state, Webb says teachers will rely on more help from parents.
We definitely need them to help provide more resources.
It's the regular classroom teachers that don't have the class fees that, suffer a little bit more. And with all this, it could be really hard on them.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Bethany Andrews, WVUA News.
Tuscaloosa County School Superintendent Dr. Frank Costanzo tells WVUA over the past 3 years, his school system has lost over $20 million in budget cuts. Hundreds of dollars may be waiting for you from the IRS. According to the IRS, as many as 17,000 people may be due refunds from taxes paid in 2007, but they haven't received their refunds because they didn't file returns for that year. There is a 3-year window to receive that refund, so to get your refund, tax returns must be filed by April 18th. You can get more information at our website, WVUA-TV.com. Click on Numbers and Links and look under Consumer. With a first look at Alabama's home team forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott.
Hey Claire, good Tuesday night to you. A lot of flowers are in bloom out there, so we're going to be watching these temperatures close tonight. In fact, I'm afraid for like Haleyville, Hamilton, Coleman tonight, we will get down there to some frosty conditions early tomorrow morning. Temperatures already in the upper 30s, but anywhere south of Fayette, I think we're okay in terms of frost. In fact, we're in the mid 40s in Tuscaloosa right now, 40 down to Demopolis, 46, Birmingham, 47 degrees over in Calera right now. And our forecast for tomorrow, temperatures rise to the 50s by 9. Temperatures do bottom off, by the way, tonight, somewhere in the mid to upper 30s. We're talking mid 60s by lunch, and 3 o'clock temperature around 71. What about the rest of the forecast? Could we have severe weather over the weekend? Home team weather is coming up. Stay with us.
On the crime watch, a Tuscaloosa County father is accused of shooting his son this morning. Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Captain Lloyd Baker says the shooting happened at a home on Sam Sutton Road near Mount Olive. Baker tells WVUA 57-year-old Dennis Martin asked his 23-year-old son to take him on an errand. The son refused, and according to Baker, the two began to argue. Baker says that's when Martin got a gun and shot his son in the leg. Martin is charged with domestic violence assault and is being held on a $75,000 bond in the Tuscaloosa County Jail. Northport police arrested a Tuscaloosa County teen this morning because officials say she had a weapon on a school bus. Lieutenant Carrie Card says they got the call around 7:30 this morning. The caller said there was a gun on a bus headed for Collins Riverside Middle School. Northport police and the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's deputies responded to the scene and confronted a 13-year-old female student. They didn't find a gun. Instead, they found 2 pocket-sized knives. Officials say the girl didn't say why she had the knives, but she didn't threaten anyone. The student is charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Federal prosecutors have charged a Tuscaloosa man in a $2 million lending fraud scheme. 36-year-old Gregory T. Smith is accused of defrauding First South Farm Credit in Northport. Smith was a branch manager there. Court documents say between 2007 and 2010, Smith created fake mortgage documents, forged signatures of customers, and falsified loan title policies. An agreement filed with investigators shows Smith has signed a plea agreement acknowledging his guilt. If convicted, Smith could face a maximum sentence of 120 years in prison and fines of over $3 million. Rescue workers in Northport removed a woman from an overturned car this morning. It happened on Union Chapel Road. Witnesses told us the vehicle left the road and flipped, trapping her inside. A rescue crew had to extract her. She was taken to a hospital to receive treatment for her injuries. The cause of the accident is under investigation. Mercedes-Benz car sales are picking up steam. Mercedes-Benz USA reports February 2011 vehicle sales have made a 5.1% improvement from the same time last year. The Vance plant sold over 16,000 vehicles last month. Leading the pack is Mercedes C-Class, which Mercedes says is the most popular with young people and first-time buyers. These numbers also represent the highest sales volume for the month of February since 2008. Thanks to a new parking ticket system adopted by the city of Tuscaloosa, drivers now have the opportunity for parking ticket amnesty. According to Tara Tubbs with the Tuscaloosa Department of Transportation, the new system will make warnings, summons, and writs electronically. With the more advanced ticketing system, the city is allowing citizens with parking tickets a chance to clear their record. Starting tomorrow, Tubbs says you will be able to pay off past tickets at face value with no late fees or fines.
We're just changing our process. We're hoping to become more efficient. You know, we don't want to have tickets that are outstanding for a year. We don't want that. We want people to go ahead and get that taken care of, get off their record, so they don't have to worry about coming back later.
The ticket amnesty program will run through April 28th. The Tuscaloosa County Park and Recreation Authority has announced a new executive director. The board named Gary Miner, who's the current director of recreation. Miner will replace longtime executive director Don Kelly, who held the position since 1997. Miner will be the third executive director in para history.